What's up, squares? It's me, Elron Humperdinck, Dylan James, here with you on behalf of Political Dank House, and we're feeling froggy as ever. 4:46 a.m. Just to let you know how late we push into the night to give you the stuff. It's not really. Well, I'm not gonna berate my shit. No, you want to stay up for this, 'cause I do. Follow us at political_dankhouse on Instagram. Twitter is at political_dank, DANQ. And of course, in Dankhouse earlier, it was DANQHOUSE. You can follow me on Twitter personally at DJLINEBARRIER. DJ Line Barrier. Of course, you're on here on YouTube. You share us, do whatever you need to do, and we'll appreciate it. I work at a place that is involved in the news, and it's involved in cartoons. I'm gonna repeat myself because I was being disrespectful to you, but they do cartoons and all sorts of stuff. Anyways, everything can spark a thought in your head. I'm gonna show you the three. Just because I have compulsion, I was looking through the files in there, and I clicked the day that we're supposed to be is 5/3, right? And it's 5/4 now, but I forget that we work a day in advance in papers. I use we just like people I'm working with. I hate the shit. I'm the only one of them that doesn't go we. Like, we are who we've been waiting for, the press. No one can get their news without me. Bitch, you'd have carrier pigeons carrying that shit out. There would be a way. And you don't want to call yourself press. But the way things are now, like I said in the video before this is uploading now, these are the same type of people that will say, well, if Trump's calling Jim Acosta, who's clearly fake news, he's a fucking liar. Well, this attack on one of us, attack on all of us. It's like, I wouldn't equate myself with him. I mean, if you have somebody pretending to be a Christian and I'm Christian, this is what matters to me most. They pretend like media is their religion, right? Them. I'm not talking about all these other people that actually do journalism. I'm talking about the people that say, well, it was different back then and there used to be etiquette. Shut up. The people that worship it. It'd be like me seeing someone that's saying hail Satan, this and that, and well, I'm a Christian. I wouldn't say, well, don't give them trash. I mean, attack against one Christian is an attack against all of them. And this wouldn't be censorship. This is on behalf of, why the hell would you sit there and try to associate with someone that doesn't represent what you think's good in it? Like, if they're not my ideal representation of Christianity, why would you use them as your example? Like, what I'm trying to say is, in a roundabout way, is Jim Acosta and all these stupid people they're going to bat for, and like I said, the people like small town level are saying they're putting up fucking cartoons that when the it wasn't Pittsburgh synagogue shit. It was somebody went in on the media, right? And this was in the past year, maybe even past 6 months. But they posted this shit up here, and the cartoon was some dude. I would never. I believe in free speech, but how the hell did this get out? The cartooner does it himself, so I understand that. Cartoonist, rather. But how the hell did this get out in our paper? It was some gun, and it had all these tragedies, right? And it had Afghanistan, Iraq, Iran, blah, blah, not necessarily Iran, but you know what I mean. Desert Storm, all these places we fought. And then it had to the side, it said, whatever, Pittsburgh. The Gazette, I think is what it was, Pittsburgh. And in my mind, I haven't even served. My brother-in-law serves. I've got friends that serve. But and you know how people say, don't get offended. Yeah, I don't get offended by things. But my God, was my blood boiling that day. Surprised I didn't rip the shit down. See, that's the difference between me and, say, a leftist or even people I'm talking about, coming into contact with every day. When I say something, I mean it. When I have a problem with something, or when I say the law shouldn't be this way, or you can't do that as a president, the person literally can't do it. I'm not saying, well, it's unfair that Trump gets to do that, and I don't like him, so he can't do that. I mean, it's not an argument. I'm one of these people that does it for real. And so when I saw that, there's a guy who works here, and I talked to him. I like him. He comes in later at night, but he served, and I asked him. I said, "Did you see that shit when you were cleaning up behind everybody and after they left?" And he said, "Yeah, I saw it." I said, "I know it's not my place." I said, "But I'm sorry that there are people in the world that think that dying in a newspaper from a mass gunman is the equivalent of serving your country. I'm really sorry." And he said, I know you, no offense, don't worry about it, of course, you know I'm going to say that, but I know what you mean. And I said, "I just want you to know that I don't think like them. Not only am I not a journalist, I'm just here to do it. I mean, I lay things out and all that, right? Or I've helped people lay out articles and things and columns. But I don't think I'm better than anybody else." I mean, like I've seen before, Owen Benjamin said, I've said it before, I've noticed this when it comes to farmers. They shit on farmers. I've noticed with the farmers, it was mine. Farmers, all they got to do is say F you to the city will die. You know what I mean? They're stupid farmers. Collapse comes, bam, people be eating each other in 48 hours in the city. Owen Benjamin said, a lot of people talk a lot of shit about truck drivers. The thing about truck drivers is they're actually important. They're looked down upon like the media wishes they were. But truck drivers really are talked down to. And you never hear the truck drivers going around saying, "We are who we've been waiting for. We're so important. It's never been more important time to wheel all this stuff, all these produces across the U.S. because we've got more people in the States than we've ever had before. It's just such a great time for trucking." It's just so fake and stupid and glib. Media, you see what I'm talking about. They jerk themselves off to these stupid get-togethers they have, and then they invite Trump because they always do it. And then he's their enemy. They've made sure that he's their enemy, and he says, "Nah, you know what? I'm not gonna go. I could probably do some stuff at the White House, and you guys don't like me anyways." And then they're fucking complaining because he didn't go. It's like, why are you not letting me punch you, dude? Why are you not letting me punch you? Hey, come into my house so I can drug you, and I'm not gonna keep it clean. You could do a range of things to somebody. Come on in, get drugged with me so I can do this to you. No, I'm not gonna walk into a trap. What are you, stupid? Are you wanting to preserve your life? Are you wanting to do responsible things that make sense? What are you using logic for? Same with Trump. We hate you and we want you to come here so we can berate you. No, I'm not going to do that. Why? We just hate Trump. It'd be great if he wasn't our president. Imagine if he wasn't for 5 seconds. They get their own event. Trump's not there. All they got to do is focus on themselves, make it about Trump, and then pretend like lies just started at 2016. Pretend that, it's harder than it's ever been. You don't think World War II media was harder than, say, now? Because you were covering shit across the world with a continent. And I know we're talking about that now, different things across continents, but fighting and a lot of people that would have been going around doing nothing. I say doing nothing, I shouldn't be shitty, but just going around taking pictures and trying to document stuff compared to the people that gave up their jobs and the housewives that went to work to fix bullets and fix guns and tanks. It's a little more important to me. Especially if you look at it now, the media is straight sellouts. And you'll have people that are going to bat for CNN that are low level, and I go, do you want credibility or do you not? Here's the randoms I saw. I had to print out just because I got compulsion. Well, I hate when deep down we're all the same. I mean, it's nice, but it's sad. Like the artist, I don't know if they did that, but it's a pretty picture. But the sentiment, it's just been overdone because it's not a solution to it. There's no plan. It's just something to say like a platitude. I'm gonna check to see if my video is ready to upload. It is! Guys, can you hear me talk about Farrakhan? Anyways, the other one is this: rural infrastructure needs, this broadband, whatever. We'll get into 5G one day. I get punched right a lot on it. This was the one that was with that day, the opposite one. So I wanted to get both. See, it's 3.2% economic growth, and it's socialism. The 2020 Democrats, their stunted growth. It's a good cartoon, I thought. But here's the one I'm talking about. You ready? And I wanted to tell you that. I wanted to set y'all up so I could set this. I heard people, colleagues that I was working with, and I can't even say what their businesses are. I'm not going to do that. I heard him talking. I've always got my earbuds in to ignore people and not to be a shithead. I work great by myself. I do well. Just give me a job. Let me listen to my politics or my music or my culture or whatever I want to do. I will hook you up. I will go the above an extra mile. I just don't want to talk. It helps me drown out people's opinions. And it's not that I can't handle them. It's that I don't have time to argue and debate when I'm working. And also because the people I'm talking to, they don't want to debate. They're the people that say stuff just to say it. They say it just to slight someone. Yes, just like Trump to sit there and say he's not guilty. And in my mind, I'm thinking he isn't. He isn't guilty. It was proven. But the thing is, they're not asking that to get an answer. They're saying that to let the world know. This is where I stand. This is where I stand. You know, one day I heard it during the election 2016. Someone was criticizing Obama, and rightfully so. And someone looked up a coworker and said, "Hating on the black man." Like, bitch, like, where can I go with that? How can I say, wow, that's the true racist statement, you know, to go to ultra glib conservative. Wow, you're the true racist. You're the one talking about color. They were just talking about how bad of a president he is. So you're saying that you're so racist that you don't think a black person can defend themselves? So he's the greatest president ever. Obama's the greatest president ever and holds such stride, such grace, he's such elegance. He's not going to take shit. He's his own man. But he needed y'all to defend him, whether he asked y'all to or not. That's what I mean. There's people out there, you know, of course, that would say like, you know, he could be the Antichrist. Those types of people. To me, why wouldn't? Not that he is, but you know, if you ever had somebody that was like that, even back then, I thought that when I was younger, you would have somebody. And now they'll look at it in politics, but you get somebody up there that you can't criticize. You know what I mean? Like, that's what the way the Democrats are doing now. That's why they want a woman now after the black man. And if you look at the way they are now, the Democrats are so incestuously Marxist that Obama wasn't black enough now. And so, can we get a re-roll? That wasn't a real black president. He was, and so you know that what would people say if that was your objection as a right winger? Why do y'all care about Obama being the first black president? He's not even black. In 2008, you would have got shot. But the people that were at my work right over here, well, I thought they were talking about an article, and for some reason the article would have been maybe not angry, but you know, more flummoxed than the cartoon because I just don't like the way people go out on a literal diatribe with words. But they were talking about the cartoon, this cartoon, and I thought they said article, but she's talking to him, and well, there's this thing. Did you hear about that thing about the reporter? Well, if we put it in this paper around this area, because I live in a conservative area, do you believe that, or we'll hear a lot of stuff, I'm sure, and it was slight shit. This person's like what I'd say old guard conservative, and the other person is one of those that wants to be liberal and think they're old school liberal, but they just don't really care about anything. Oh, can't we just leave each other alone? The type that when HB2 came out, well, this wasn't even an issue until people brought it up. I don't see why people just can't let people just use whatever bathroom they want. Fuck it, who cares? This wasn't even an issue until it was brought up, and I go, hey, dude, you're right, it wasn't an issue. He'd do stuff like, you know how many times you've been in the bathroom with someone that was already like this and you didn't have a problem until now? And I go, yeah, that's the point. The transsexuals made it to where they wanted you to know who they are and what they were doing and where they were. Look at me, I'm in this bathroom. Nobody does that. People say, well, you want to treat them like everybody else. People use the word normal. You treat everyone like they're normal. And I go, yeah, why don't you act like a normal person and go in the bathroom? And it reminds me of what they did in that situation. It was like the elf. I'm in a store and I'm singing. I'm in a store and I'm singing. I'm in a store. He wanted the world to know he was there. It's like the we're here, we're queer, get used to it on steroids, you know? They want you to know. That's the way love it or hate it. And I'm not one of those that looks at it as gay people. I look at it as like government seeing what they can get away with and using homosexuals. But when the gay marriage thing came out in 2015, people said, why can't you just have it as a civil union? You could have the same rights, this and that, just a different name. No, we don't want that because it's about taking something over. Same thing with the transsexual thing. It was, well, y'all were already doing that. Why is it? We were already doing this. Why is it a big deal? It's a big deal because you couldn't shut up and just keep to yourself, because nobody's gonna go in the stall. Everybody's acting like, well, everybody. There's people out there now that will say, well, I'll go in there and check to make sure. How stupid! And nobody would have ever thought that if you hadn't gave them the hint that somebody was in there like that. They got to be these progressive transsexuals or whatever. The people that I'm talking about, because a true libertarian person who really doesn't give a shit would just, well, I'm doing what I'm doing. I've got the freedom. I'm going to leave everybody alone and keep them out of my business at least. The only reason you get a big deal is whenever you're trying to say, oh, look what I'm getting away with. Look what I'm doing. And this is the cartoon I was talking about. The person said, I thought it was somebody, they were telling a story about some random guy, right? And did you hear, they say, did you hear about the guy who said he was going to do something every week, do this every week, or, something that's badass, like, I can't even think of anything. They're going to keep up with it. There's people out there that'd be cool. I'm going to keep up with how many times they say Rush in one episode of Mad Owl. Sure, that's something, that's fun. If you wanted to go back in time and show, if you were a guy, like the people I run circles in, and they're libertarianish, and they're like, sure, Hannity's doing good stuff now, but I'll never, they don't hate him, they have nothing against him, but they're like, I'll never forget the way he shit on Ron Paul in 2008. And that was the first person I voted for. That was my first election. But to have this, I thought that was one of those guys they were talking about. Some random guy made it his prerogative to write down all the lies he could see as he binge watched CNN. And you know what? He said he would do it, but he gave up because his hand was cramping. And I thought, oh god dang, what a joke! Oh my gosh, his hand's cramping. I get it because he lies so much. Oh man, it would have been a better catch line if he said, this is just too much, I'm gonna kill myself. What it would be even funnier is if they would have said, you know what, they came up with a new punishment for prisoners. You know what's worse than picking up trash or driving nails in a railroad track, or, I'll tell you what, they told them that all you had to do get out was write down all Trump's lies in one day, and they all just said, there's no way we can do that. Might as well stay in prison because that's a death sentence, and at least with the electric chair, it's instant. It's not like I have to get carpal tunnel in my hand and die a slow death. They're really just, what gets me is they're acting like all of a sudden politicians started lying. Or it got worse. There's an epidemic. It's one of those things that people do when, when you first see something. Say you got a red shirt, right? And this might not even be the best example for that. Or let's say that you start playing guitar. That's better because that's an item. You start playing guitar, you get a guitar, and then you start thinking about it. And I'm not talking about the way the government does now, where they use cookies, they use your data, and then it's popped up, recommended for you. They're always spying on you, webcam, everything. It's been proven. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about noticing things as a human being. Once you have that in your life, you'll start noticing all the times. You'll say, wow, I see a lot of guitars in advertisements or past the marketing towards you. You'll walk down the street and you'll see a mural of somebody playing. You'll go, I never noticed that was a guitar before. And you'll start, or a new word especially, because that's something you literally didn't know. You know what a guitar is, even if you didn't play one. But as far as meaning something to you, you'll look up at it and say, I never noticed how many times I noticed a guitar throughout the day. That doesn't mean that there's more guitars than there were before you didn't notice. To me, with the lies, it's so feckless because they go, well, it's never been like it ever was. You weren't paying attention. It's that the reason you think that is because you care now. And a lot of these Johnny-come-latelys, and I joined, I got into it about 3 years ago, 2016, like January or so. And I didn't come up pretending like everything that I did in that time was the most important thing ever, or that things that were happening were the first time that it ever happened. You know, despite a lot of stuff like Trump, that really was the first time happening. Um, but it'd be like me seeing the Republican debates back in the day, or this past election, the 2016 one, and going, wow, Jeb Bush is advocating war. What? What? It's like, okay, newbie, back of the line. To be surprised over that shit, or to act like you're offended morally all of a sudden. There's just never been so many lies. You don't like Trump, and so you're looking for every little thing. Trump could say it's a beautiful day out here, and it's the evening. And they'll go, well, it's not really day; it's practically night. So I mean, he'll say, I like this blue chair, and they'll look at it and they'll go, actually, it's aquamarine, and aquamarine's more of a green color. So hashtag color theory. Liar. There's a lot of things that he'll do where he says, I could put troops on the border. And he could. And then he doesn't because they cower, or he'll say, I'll do this. And he threatens the Democrats legally with a power play. And then they back off. And so he doesn't do it because he has no reason to do it. And then they'll say, ooh, look at Trump. He lied. He said he was going to do it. The Democrats are the type of people, and this is strictly a hypothetical, no violence. This is in Minecraft. The Democrats are the type of people that if you said, I'm going to punch you in the face, politically, let's just say politically, if I'm going to punch you in the face, and then you didn't, they would be happier to call you a liar than they would be that you didn't hit them. And not just that, they would call you a liar till you hit them in the face because they're so damn annoying. But, and I'm not just talking about Democrats. I don't know why I said Democrats for the example. I'm talking about media. And to me, it's a mindset. It's the our shit doesn't stink. It's the, in middle school, we had the preps. That, well, coach, we're the coolest people in school. We can do no wrong because we're just, we're God's gift or whatever. No, it's because the coach likes you and he needs to win so he can look good. He needs that extra trophy for regionals and nationals. He's not afraid of you. You're not a special class. I mean, you are, but you're not anything like special or wow. I'm such a a cool guy. I'm cool with coach. He lets me do whatever I want. I'm never gonna get in trouble. He's just using you because he needs to win. It's the same thing they're doing with the media. They don't care that somebody's lying. They're just going after Trump so they can say, see, he shouldn't have been elected. See, he shouldn't have been elected. You shouldn't have a liar. And I hear that now. Well, we just don't need somebody in there that lies. Find me somebody that doesn't fucking lie. Well, we shouldn't have people. Yeah, I know, and we shouldn't have poverty. We shouldn't have hunger. And it's not me saying that's okay. You should lie. And the things that people are worried about with Trump is, wow, Trump said that there was spying. There was wiretapping. We never said that. You look back at the media, and they changed the story from wiretapping when they got the Obama orders, or when the media narrative kicked off in Mueller and all them, and they said, let's go back and fix that. But people still have printed of the New York Times that says Trump wiretapped. The media bragged about him being wiretapped. Then he said he got wiretapped. Then they called him a liar and changed it so that he could be a liar. These are the same type of people that will willfully be disingenuous and snakish. And to me, we'll say, well, we're not lying. Being deceptive might as well be lying. You're not telling a lie, but you're showing false premises for things. When they did the inaugural address, they took the pictures early in the morning, and not just that, they refused to show outside, just like with the DNC 2016, whenever Bernie's fans were rioting and saying, "Hey, we want our voices heard," they kept them way far out, almost in another part of the city, really, to keep them from saying anything. And so that's what happened with the inaugural address, or the inauguration of Trump, is that people were beat. Like, they took it early. It was hard for people to get in. Antifa was beating the shit out of people when they were trying to get into the gate, and then you'll hear a bunch of media. Well, Trump didn't have a lot of people, and at least in this picture, bitch. There's pictures. CNN will show you some, and then they'll show you a picture of, look, here's this roundabout, or the 360 dome type pictures they have, and they'll say, look at the face on President Obama in this picture, and they'll zoom in, and they'll say he is so disgusted with Trump, and the idiots will use a photo that they took after they just showed you a startup picture of when the rally just started, or when people were just getting into the inauguration. Trump wasn't even there ready to speak yet. You gotta give it time to fill up, right? When the bar starts at 9, the club plays at 9, the crowd at 9 is going to be different at 11 and at 2. But they were letting people get in. This is way before. The media is being deceptive. And right after that, they'll show you another one of their pictures, CNN, the super cool one, and they're zooming in on Obama saying, look at his face in his picture, and the idiots don't realize that when there's, right before they zoom in, they've got the whole picture showing. The shit's packed. And I go, this is on the same I think it was on the same damn episode of something, whoever show it was. This is definitely the same week, if not same day. And I go, do you guys think we're stupid? Do you? And I mean, unless they wanted to say they were there for Obama, well then, they didn't. But if they would do that. Well, in this picture, it's because all these people were coming for Obama. People knew Obama was coming regardless. So why, it wouldn't matter what time you took it, or why, how big the crowd was, or trying to figure out how many were there for Obama or not. It would still be Trump's inauguration, and you would still be talking about how big the crowd was, and you lied and said that there wasn't a big crowd. And the media will take shit and say, oh, he's lying, when he's being clearly hyperbolic, when he says, I probably had the biggest inauguration ever, and they go, fact check, he actually didn't, he's lying. And if you look at this picture, it was so funny. Oh, ouch, dang carpal tunnel. It says, documenting Trump's 10,000 lies, fictions, and whoppers. Why such a number? If he lies all the time, it's got to be more than that. Why? And I don't hate the guy. He just drew it. He's a drawn guy. He's a drawn guy. Poor little guy. No, look at that red comic star. But anyways, John Cole drew this. But whatever, I can't read his damn handwriting. The Times Tribune, Scranton, PA, which is Pennsylvania. I want to know why they used a man for the press. This is 2019, bucko. Time to get a woman in there. Can't even get a woman in the White House. You can't even get a woman on a damn cartoon. If anything, the media is, a lot of them is women, especially with the talk shows. But anyways, I don't know why such a number 10,000, unless they're going after this play on words from some movie or show of the day. I don't know, some call celeb. Sometimes there's Game of Thrones references and cartoons that I'll get, but I won't fully get because I don't care. I'm not going to say I'm not a nerd. People like what they like. I shit on the people that I may have worked with or be in contact with when they oh, yeah, Game of Thrones and Jon Snow, and you know why I do, whether it's that or sports, is because they act like they're the expert on politics because they are affected by it. Just because you're affected by something doesn't mean you know how things should work. That's the only reason they care. If it didn't affect them, they wouldn't care or pretend to know or want to argue with someone. Thing is, when people do their free time, they're doing sports. They're watching Game of Thrones. They're doing fine. But my free time is watching videos for fun about politics, learning more about the government, trying to figure out where I am ideologically, spiritually, theologically. I'm drawing cartoons. I'm making memes. I'm discussing with my friends, life things that we need to do, like starting a family. What's the best way to provide for that family? How are we going to preserve these issues that we think are important? I'm doing posters. I'm doing T-shirts. I'm doing all sorts of things that do with politics. And it's my life. I live it. I don't take time to watch sports. I don't take time to watch Game of Thrones. And if I did, it'd be fun. There's people out there that do it. But the thing is, these people think that just because, fine, if something goes into your paycheck or something that gets taken out of your paycheck from taxes, because we all know taxes are ass, and it goes towards something you don't like, sure, you can not like it, but you not liking it emotionally does not give you not the right, but the prowess, the assert. You can't assert yourself as knowing. What am I thinking of? Authority. It didn't give you the authority. You're appealing to authority. You're not. It doesn't give you the authority just because you're the most mad. And I say this analogy all the time because it's sports. And I think I've said this in another video. But if my brother is pulling for a team on sports, let's say Duke. If my brother's pulling for Duke in the game, he paints his face white and blue, sees every game, knows every color, knows every team, knows their shoe size, knows their arm span, knows their, knows what color haircut they have, knows everyone's name, middle name, last name, knows, he could tell you, just obsessed with things like race breakdown, anything. If you were saying how many's on it, he'd say, well, there's 14 blacks on this team, there's white, and then there's 5 whites, and there's 1 Hispanic. And I might not have the numbers right, but you know what I mean? Like, even if you wanted to get down to that, he could do it. Every rule of the game, every championship, he watches every single game, will say, well, I'm not going out tonight to do this because I'm going to catch the game, record it, everything, has the jerseys, goes and sees them live in the Coliseum to get it signed. He's a fan whenever they lose. He's a fan whenever they win. He's not no fair weather guy. But the thing is, him with sports is like me with politics. And now I'm going to be the person that I don't like, that I'm talking about, but on behalf of my brother. Now imagine me, after Duke or somebody loses a big game, and my brother has followed him all through the season, more than that, but all the way, and this is the climax, is the final, or something happens to him, right? I can't go up to him and tap him on the shoulder and say, yeah, I know, we sure did take a loss, didn't we? Because my ass betted $20 that they would win. I lost $20. I know exactly how it feels to dedicate all of your time and energy and life into playing basketball, and you love it and you treat it with respect, and it's more than just money to you, and you are indebted to those players and you've met them and this and that. You can't pretend like just because, I lost $20 and I'm upset. I'm just as upset as y'all, No, you're not. Same with politics. Just because you're affected by it doesn't mean that you know as much as I do. And I'm not saying that I know everything, but the people I'm talking about, I know more than them, in the sense that I can explain why I believe what I believe. They can't. They're just reactionary. They'll tell you why they're pissed. They'll tell you, well, yeah, it sounds like Trump. Why? Why does it sound like Trump? Well, or when they were talking about abortion, one of them was talking to the other, and just think about abortion. I mean, it's all fine and all, and when you hear them say that, it's not, because they're going to lead you into something. Well, it'd be all fine if, but they're trying to say it's murder, calling abortion murder. I mean, my God, maybe you could get more credibility if you stop acting like that. The thing is, you don't want to concede your point. You don't want to concede that abortion is wrong, or even hear that somebody like me thinks it's murder. The thing is, you just want people to stop. You think, well, if you guys would stop, we would talk about it. You're not going to talk about it. What you want is to do what the Democrats always do, like what Nancy Pelosi did with DACA when she was talking about the wall with Trump. They want you to cave, and lefties especially, but they want you to cave. And they'll say, well, now that you stopped criticizing us and making us feel bad, well, we're still going to keep fucking, killing 9-month-old babies. We're going to keep getting aborted. Women's rights, birth control. Ooh, who's the new birth control? They're not going to stop. And so what they really want you to do is shut up. You shut up. Don't you call it a murder. Don't you call it murder. Because really, I respect someone in the street that will say, I kill my kids at an abortion rally, right? Yeah, we'll kill babies. I don't give a shit. I have more respect for them because they'll tell you what it's about. They don't mince what it is. The people I talk about, they're not illegal aliens. They're undocumented citizens. Like the words matter. And like with the abortion, they do matter. Well, they're going to call it murder. What would you call it? They're ending a life of something. Well, some women want it, and well, that's a life then. So it's not really ending a life. It's it's just it's just terminating a pregnancy. Yeah, but what if the woman wants it? Well, then, yeah, it is a life because, well, what point is it a life? Well, if the woman wants it, it's a life. It's different. Well, if we're going to see a woman who wants to have the child, wants to be pregnant, we're going to go up to her and rub her belly and say, oh, cute baby, when is he or she due? We're going to treat it like, you should. Oh. But if the woman doesn't want it, you go up and say, oh yeah, you can just get rid of that thing. You're the ones without structure. You're the ones changing it based off of how you feel and how the person feels. It stays the same no matter what. And these are the people that are doing these types of cartoons, these far lefties that move the goalpost and change they're deceptive about what they really stand for. We don't want open borders. We just want refugees to be welcome. That's a lie too. The strike 5,000 for the media. I could go on and on. They want to say, well, there's a bunch of refugees at the border. Are you afraid of a bunch of little poor dirty migrant baby kids? You snakes. Like somebody wouldn't infiltrate that thing. I would. Well, I wouldn't. My ass, you wouldn't. The only reason you say you wouldn't is because you know that would give me fodder to use against you, that at least one person would be in that roundup of people coming in, and then you'd have to concede the point that maybe we need to screen these people. They're the type of people that when Trump says the caravan's coming, oh no, he's lying, and then whenever there's a caravan and they want it to be after they've lied forever and said there isn't one, then, well, I don't know why Trump's not talking about it. Talk about what caravan? You said there wasn't one, you damn liars. Trump's the type of person who'll say, and this could be for anybody, because it's opposing the globalism that they're talking about, or what I mean by that. It's a term. When Trump says, guys, don't come up here, we're going to turn you back, and he puts the National Guard down there, and they get spooked into turning around or not coming at all, they're the type of people to say, well, Trump said there was a caravan coming, but now there's not. Nobody got in, so he's lying. No, it can be both true. A caravan could have been coming, and then now they're stopped because he stopped them. That doesn't mean that there wasn't a caravan coming. Same thing with this Mueller investigation. People say, well, Trump can't say he was exonerated by the Mueller report and then also say it was there was a witch hunt. Yes, you can. You can be exonerated because you didn't do something, and then it can also be a witch hunt. They act like that a witch hunt means that you get the person. You can still slander somebody in a witch hunt without, fully getting them. And that's what he's talking about. The witch hunt, he was exonerated because there was nothing on him, and the reason that it was a witch hunt is because they were going after someone that they knew that was nothing on in the vein that they were trying to get him under, or the group of crimes or whatever they were trying to get him under. So it can be both, and they made it both true. But they like to be real hair-splitting when they can. Same with the spying. It's not spying, it's undocumented, whatever they would do. What is it? It's, I don't know, tapping. It's not. And then they're the type that will say wiretapping. We don't know what he's talking about. The media that's supposed to be so rich in their history, and we've always had history, and look at that hat, 40s, 50s, and this is not, back in the day with whatever, blah, blah, blah. For years, it's been a good institution. But for years, they're going to act like that, and then they're not going to remember that at one point, back in time, they called it wiretapping because you physically tapped wires back in the day. Now we just spy on each other electronically and hack each other and stuff. It'd be like now saying, "Shoot me an email" or something. Somebody will say, "All right, I'm gonna write a letter to you," and you send an email, and they go, "You dumbass! It's an email. You said you're gonna write a letter." People know what you mean when they say, "I'm gonna write you" now. For the most part. And that's even, less vague than the wiretapping thing. People clearly knew what he was talking about, and they said, well, it wasn't really wiretapping. That's an old archaic way. It's like, well, what was it? And then they want to talk about spying, and then whenever William Barr comes up and says, I think spying did occur, the S word, he said the S word, and not shithole. Not shithole. Which isn't even, on recorded. him on recording saying that Trump. I mean, I don't doubt that he called something a shithole, but it was great to see the media be above it all like this. I can't stand it. We're so above it, and we've never had a crash president like this, and he talks like this, and they're falling all over themselves to say shithole. And it was like, we're going to say it so that, and they wanted to say it as much as they could so that people would say, wow, CNN really did have shithole. Why are we cursing on TV now? And instead of saying, sorry, we should have held our tongue because we're the press and we're above it all, apparently. No, they're going to say, well, the reason we had to say it so many times is because the damn president said it, and we got to cover what's important in the news. We got to make sure you know what we want you to know. We got to make sure you know every word. They would find a way to blame it on Trump. Yeah, just don't say shithole. And what was funny is there was conservative commentators that weren't afraid to say it, but they were being respectful to them on their shows. And I'm not going to say it, Don Lemon. Well, what did he say about S? And he knew what he meant. And then he said, fine, you want me to say it, Don? He said that we don't want people coming from these shitholes and blah, blah, blah. Okay, I'm going to have to get you off because we can't handle that type of language. And, Don, shut the fuck up. Seriously. Ouch. But that's weird. I was going to notice that it says, ouch. Sorry. Ouch. Damn carpal tunnel. Anyway. You know where they got the carpal tunnel from? Jerking themselves off. This press thing recently, I told you about it. People get up there. I just feel like journalism is more important than it's ever been. It's not more important than it's ever been. It's just journalism. You know what I mean? It'd be like me coming up saying, breathing oxygen is most important it's ever been. When people do that shit, so they could say, and they can segue into saying, and because of that, we must realize that global warming is it's not global warming now, it's climate change. They changed it. Another media thing. And if it's not the media, it's people covering for these people, regardless of what you think. And the media is there to go along with it and change and not press back against, we're up against lies, we're up against changing narratives, we're up against backtracking. No, you're not. And when it comes to this cartoon, I'm reactionary in a different manner than what they would think I would be or how the artist would want me to react. My complaint is not that it is against my guy because it's Trump or vicariously attacking the beliefs he has or says to represent, which I share, like attacking me through him as the poster child. It's just that it's played out. It's so played out. He's got carpal tunnel from his hands hurting because Trump lies so much. You know what? It would actually be easier to count all the times Trump didn't lie. When Trump wakes up and says, I'm glad to be alive, that's his first lie because he knows deep down inside he's a piece of shit. So we start from there. That's one lie. It's a joke that would have been in January or February 2017. Here it is in 2019. And even then, they played it out since 2015. He's not going to do that. He's lying. That's the campaign promise he can't fulfill. He's not going to win. He's lying. He's not going to accept the results of the election. He's lying. Hillary Clinton's a god. He's lying. I mean, worrying about a politician lying, really? Whether you think this is covering for someone or not, we can't pretend to be these media people. We're so proper. You can't pretend to be an adult who's adult enough to advocate for the way the country should run, like the media thinks they do, but also be babes in the woods to the way in which politics has always ran. And plans fall through, compromises are made, lies are told, pitfalls are inevitable. My deal is how people reacting to it. Like I said, this is the first time, and this is the most important, and journalism is more important than it's ever been. Shut up. Allow me to repeat a diatribe of mine. You can't not be surprised and say, that sounds like them, like Trump. Well, it sounds like something Trump would do. I'm not surprised when besmirching, say, a Trump. And you can't be, I'm not surprised. That doesn't surprise me. I know him. I've got him figured out. And then also feign outrage or, I just can't believe we have this in office. I just can't believe it's just blatant lying. So you're either a petulant child or a prepared adult. I'm not asking you what about so and so in people's ways of governing. I'm talking about the mental methods in which we handle these issues or react to these situations. And it's played out, like I said. And they always love the, well, that's whataboutism. No, I'm not saying Trump should be able to do this because Obama did. I'm saying to you, did you care when Obama did it? Well, I'm against it. Well, now when I put you on the spot, you are. Whataboutism? No, it's holding you to your own standard. You don't hear Republicans saying whataboutism. And if you do, whatever. It's a stupid ass word. Sounds like I can't handle stones I'm throwing phrase. And dare I say, it'd fall into the lines of, I would say, be careful calling somebody a liar. I didn't see Trump lying us into, the Iraq War. I don't see him lying to us about North Korea, about Russia. We just had a damn 2+ year investigation about how we were hacked by Russians and that it changed the entire election, like Hillary was going to win, and that we got an inserted KGB agent as Trump. He's going to be let out of the house in handcuffs. People have heard that. Phil Mudd, government's going to kill this guy. Are they going to have to answer for their lives? The other press, well, he's an agent. Well, he's under CNN's guess. He's under a contract. They have John Lennon. They have John Brennan on there. They have Clapper on there. They've had Hayden on there. All three of them are known frauds, known liars. When it comes, they've lied to Congress under oath. See, he could have got Brennan to swear on the Bible so he wouldn't have lied, but he was sworn on the Quran. But you're gonna have those on there and say, "Thank you, you're a decorated hero." And that's what happens when people do that shit with when they did it with McCain. Well, he served in the military one time. You can't criticize him on what he's doing now, which was shit. They do that with the Hayden and all them, the big three. Well, they're decorated, and they were in Obama's in the NSA, and they were in high-ranking offices. So we got to get them on here because of their tank. Yeah, they know about the game, but they're the ones playing it. Like getting a cheater from sports on there. Well, he sure does know a lot about the rules of the game. Yeah, because he knows which ones he can and can't break. He knows how to get by with them just enough. And you're going to sit there and cry about Trump lying, and you got that shit on your network. Please, give me a break. It's just so stupid to act like it's never happened before. There's never been a liar. There's never been somebody that said something that was uncouth or turned out to not be true or spoke out without judgment and then was turned out wrong. They're still lying about Charlottesville. So I don't want to hear the shit about giving a damn about lying all of a sudden. You guys tell me what you think. Maybe I'm taking it a little too personal, but it just seems so sanctimonious is what I'm thinking of. And, we are who we've been waiting for. The world doesn't know that the sun comes around and up again because if we don't tell them that the weather's going to be 58, partly cloudy, then how are they going to know if it's raining? That's why I got to be in my bonnet over, is because people like you and me and all of us here, all of us cool frogs, we follow this shit on our free time because we want to do it. We don't need an arbiter to tell us. All you got to do is send us out there with a camcorder. See, there's my old school. I say, I'm a liar. It's a camera. It's not a camcorder. Those are outdated. So I get for being a 90s kid. We can go out there with our video. We don't need you to tell us what happened or write an article. Sure, that's fine for, if you like someone's personality. I've been told, they like mine on here. I appreciate y'all. But all you got to do nowadays is go out there with a camera and see things that are unfolding. People will form their opinion. At this point, people are tired of the media because the media is trying to form their opinions. It's not we got to get the truth out. There's people here in Podunkville, and they're wearing fucking Washington Post, democracy dies in darkness. You know what I say? Truth has its own light, retard. democracy dies in darkness. We're not even a democracy, you idiot. We're a constitutionally represented republic. You would know that if you weren't so sanctimoniously about the feeling of what it feels like to be a journalist, and we're fighting power. That's why all these idiots are the same. We're fighting Nazis. Ben Shapiro's a Nazi. Everybody riding left of Turtle Carlson's a Nazi. Let's go get his house. You're not fighting real Nazis, and you know you're not, because if you were, you'd be chicken shit. And that's not saying, Nazis are so great. But people want to go fight people that they know is an easy win. It's what they call it, straw manning, but not just argumentatively, like the literal term, when they would beat up on something that they made, a fake thing, and they'd beat their shit. Yeah, I tore up a fake doll. Woo-hoo-hoo. It's a doll that looked like Trump, though. Yeah, like with Kathy Griffin. Oh, she wanted to cut his head off so bad that she had the mock. Yeah, I showed him. This is what it looked like if he was dead. It's still a mock statue or head, you idiot. You're proving nothing. You're doing nothing. You media people are standing for nothing. If you cared for anything, you'd be fighting for the people that are your readers and your viewers to have the right on Facebook and all these other places where they're getting banned. To talk about what you're saying, because when you say we want to hear from you, you really don't. You would be fighting for your constituents. You wouldn't be raising your prices. You wouldn't be berating half of America, if not more. You would be fact-checking yourself and not with Snopes. You'd be actually giving people stories that they want to hear, and you'd be learning from your mistakes. You'd come out in the very beginning of prime time and say, we're sorry, things are developing. When you have corrections, it wouldn't be a little on inside of page 3A down there at the bottom of second. Yeah. Oh, well, this is the bottom of my trivias and my calendars and my down here. Oh, right next to the crossword, we want bam right on the front. And there's no excuse to not have the correction out there on the web now. Well, we can put that on the front because it's not. We'll put it on the web. Well, can we still put it at the end of the story? Whatever. Train's about to go off the rails. 5:38. Follow me and the boys. And boys colloquially. Call me a liar, Have some girls that talk to me about politics. Oh, he said the boys. There's some girls in there. That's another lie. But follow us. Instagram at political_dank with a Q. DANQ HOUSC. Political_dank house on Instagram. On Twitter at political_dank DANQ. They cut us off there. Couldn't have the house. Like 2018, we couldn't have the house. On Twitter, my personal is at DJ Line Barrier. I like to cross the line and cross the barrier at the same time when I'm stepping on your toes. Just remember it that way. DJ LINEBARRIER. On Instagram, I'm at _man_carnival. One man carnival. Let me know what you guys think. I'm on here. Elron Upperdink. Dylan James. Thank you for watching. You guys have a great weekend.